Hi, this is Sweet June 2010. How's everybody doing? I'm in my soon to be office slash studio. Uh, I want to talk about women, and I'm going to address this video to all women of all races, just all women. Young women, old women, all women of all ages and races. This video is to women in general, to all women. I'm just seeing a lot of things like I know in my last video I talked about how the women got pregnant by guys, these guys, and the guys winded up killing them. I'm hearing a lot about that kind of stuff, and this really sad, and it don't make no sense. And I'm just hearing a lot of stories of women being abused, and women getting killed by their abusers. Black and white women. This goes across racial lines. This is women of all races. Are dealing with these kind of things. Being with men that are abusive, being in abusive relationships, whether it be mentally or physically, just making bad choices as far as mate selection, getting pregnant by someone that's not a good candidate for fatherhood, let alone husband, being a husband material, and just making, not making as females. And I've been guilty of this in the past as well. I've been guilty of this in the past. Not guilty of it anymore, but I've been guilty of it in the past. Of just not making the right decisions, just not making the right choices as far as relationships and things like that. And um, we got to, I will say this, women, we got to make better choices. We got to make better choices than men, you know, as far as our relationships are concerned, choosing a father for our children, choosing a husband, someone to spend our life with. That's very important. It's probably one of the most important decisions, beside dedicating your life to God, that you will ever make in your life. Because if you pick the wrong mate, if you pick the wrong mate, it's going to affect your whole life. It's going to affect your whole life. If you have children, it's going to affect your children's life. And then whatever they're going through as they're growing up, it's going to shape their whole character. It's going to determine their whole outlook on life. It's going to change who they are. So it's a huge issue, Um, it just gets this reading these situations with these women getting involved with these men and getting pregnant, and these men wind up killing them, and like, were there signs? My question comes to mind is, were there signs that these men were capable of doing something like this? I know sometimes men can be good actors, and sometimes they can cover up things really, really well. But I just know that we got to make better choices. And I think, first of all, it starts with loving yourself. As women, we got to learn to know our worth, and we got to know to love ourselves. It starts with self love. Because if you can't love yourself, then you can't love anybody else. You have to love yourself. We have to know our worth. It took me a long time to get to that place to where I really, really started to realize my worth as a woman, as an individual, as a person, a human being. Just knowing that, um, I deserve to have someone that's going to treat me with love and respect, and someone that's going to be there for me, and all this kind of stuff. Someone that's not going to mistreat me or abuse me or leave me and all that kind of stuff. And as women, as females, a lot of females have that problem, have self-worth issues, maybe have self-esteem issues, and that can lead to making the wrong choices as far as in a mate, or being with someone that's not right for you, that they're emotionally abusing you or they're physically abusing you. They're not there for you either emotionally or physically. You have kids by them and they up and leave you to raise the kids alone. That's not a good man. A good man sticks by you. He stays in your corner. He helps you to raise any kids that you have. He makes a commitment to you, a lifelong commitment. He treats you with love and respect. That's a good man. So sometimes we have to look in the mirror at ourselves and find out why we're making these choices. And sometimes you can't figure that out until you spend some time alone. You got to spend some time alone. I know I've been single for quite a few years. I haven't been in a relationship for quite a few years. And in a sense, believe it or not, in a sense, it's been a blessing, because it has given me the opportunity to, first of all, draw close to Jehovah God. And then it's also given me the opportunity to do a lot of soul searching and to realize my self-worth and to build my self-esteem. And it also gave me the opportunity to take a look at my past relationships and kind of figure out, kind of take a step back and kind of marinate and meditate on my past relationships and kind of figure out, okay, why did I make that choice of being with that person? Why did I make these choices? And it gave me the opportunity to figure those things out. Figure it out what my pattern was, why I, got involved with these people or had feelings for particular people. And it gave me the opportunity to kind of figure things out and figure out why I made these choices. And you know what? I figured it out. See, time is a wonderful thing. And it also given me, all these years of being by myself has also given me enough time to heal from my broken heart, my broken heart that I dealt with in my relationships. And time can be, like they say, time heals all wounds. That's really true. Time can heal wounds, but time can also help you get a strong sense of yourself. It can help you figure things out about who you are and your life. It has given me the opportunity to draw close to Jehovah God and build a relationship with Him. It has given me an opportunity to learn my self-worth and get grow a self-esteem, and just like I said, come to realizations about my patterns. And that's just me individually. But so I know that that can happen like that for me, it can happen like that for other women. See, a lot of times when you're so busy jumping from one relationship to the next, you don't really have time to figure anything else out about yourself. You don't have time to come to those realizations because you're just jumping from one relationship to the next, especially if you're jumping from one bad relationship to the next bad relationship. You're not giving yourself that time, that cleansing period. And I think every man needs to do it too. But right now I'm talking about women. Well, women need to do it. And it requires spending some time alone. It actually requires spending some time being single, being without a mate, without a man in your life, and just taking that time to, because when you're by yourself and you're single and you don't have a mate, that time is for you. That time is for you to get yourself together emotionally and mentally. So when the next time when someone does come along, you might be able to make the right choice. You might be able to show the course of wisdom when you make that choice. You know, because you've taken that time. And I'm not just talking about a few months. In my case, it's been years. And I'm telling you, in a sense, it's been a blessing. It hasn't been easy, because it's never easy being alone. But in a sense, it's been a blessing, because it's like I said, it's given me the opportunity to figure things out, to learn my worth and everything. And that's what every woman needs to do, especially young women, you know. Because when you're young, you got time on your side. You know, you have some time, you know. And I just know that women got to make better choices. As women, we have to make better choices. You got to take the time to learn your worth. Because if you don't, you're going to keep making the same decisions over and over and over and over. And then unfortunately, it led to destruction with some of these women. It resulted in their death. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's all the woman's fault. But at the same time, we got to take responsibility. We have to take responsibility in the choices that we make. And it's just, it's just really sad. I'm just hearing about all these stories about these women getting involved with these men, and they're killers and they're abusive. And I mean, just here in my town, I heard a story about a woman that got killed. The man is on trial for killing his girlfriend. Abusive type relationship. Another lady got beat up. So it's just really sad. I really hate to hear cases like this. The only thing I can think of is that, for some reason, they felt like being in this type of relationship was acceptable. It's never acceptable. Yeah, it's a lot of fear involved, but then you have to ask yourself, okay, what caused them to make that choice in the first place? If you have a low self-esteem and you have low self-worth, you make bad choices. You make bad choices in men and, relationships and stuff. And then if you have children, it can affect your children. If you get pregnant by someone that's not a good person, then it's going to not only affect you, it's going to affect your child. And that's serious, because it's not only affecting you, but it's also affecting another human being. So, women, we got to make better choices. And it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with learning your worth as a woman. Realizing that you're a good woman. You deserve to have somebody that's going to love you, respect you, and putting your foot down and not settling for anything less. If you even see signs that someone is even closely being abusive, then you get rid of them. It's taking a stand. You're taking a stand. You're saying that this is unacceptable. I will not accept this because I deserve better than this. You got to know your worth, and you got to know what you deserve. I know what I deserve, and I know my worth. Yeah, I could have been in a relationship, but then I would have been with the wrong person. I took a stance. And I was like, no, I deserve better than that. I deserve to have somebody that is going to love and respect me, and someone that's going to be in my corner, someone that's right for me. and I'm not gonna compromise. I'm not gonna settle for nothing. I mean, getting older and all that. Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna settle. And that's the kind of stand that, as females, we have to take, even if it means being alone, even if it means being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with being single. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You know, you see, we know we live in a society that says that women got to get married and all this kind of stuff. Or you got to be in a relationship, some type of relationship. If you're not in a relationship, then you're nothing, and that's not true. The Bible actually says that being single is a blessed state. That being single is a blessing. The Bible actually says that it's a blessing to be single. And in a sense, like I said, it can be a blessing, because like I said, it gives you the opportunity to figure out who you are, to figure out your worth. And the only way you can figure those things out, figure out the patterns if you're making bad choices in relationship. The only way that you can figure that out is by spending some time alone. If you don't spend that time alone, then you'll never figure it out. You steady jumping from one relationship to the next. You're not making wise decisions, and you're gonna keep those patterns up until you figure it out. Those patterns are gonna continue until you figure it out. And in order to figure it out, you need some time alone, because men and sex can cloud your judgment. Men and sex can cloud your judgment. Can cloud your judgment. Extremely cloud your judgment. So you need that time alone, celibate, and to figure out, it's a cleansing. It's a period of cleansing, and you will give yourself the opportunity to figure things out. And like I say, women, we gotta make better choices. You can't keep getting involved in these relationships with these abusive men. And thinking that it's okay and it's acceptable. It's never acceptable for someone to beat you and abuse you and kill you. It's never acceptable. It's just really, it's heartsick to hear. It makes me heartsick to hear about these stories. And all I can think of is, like, women, we gotta make better choices. We gotta make better choices. For ourselves, for our health, for our life, and most importantly, for our children. Okay, I might talk further about this. Got some more great topics coming up. Be sure to like my video and subscribe. This is Sweet June 2010.